And welcome in. We are here on the 18th of April, the day after the Bristol dirt race. We're back. We missed the Martinsville one. That was partially on me. I got sick last week. Or no, that was 2 weeks ago. We missed the Martinsville race, but we're back here after Bristol dirt. Will, what a finish at the Bristol dirt track, man.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm upset. I really am. Everybody who saw that finish got up and probably screamed. Oh man, Chase Briscoe and Tyler Reddick. I was hoping for an RCR victory this week, and Reddick is long overdue, and Richard Childers is long overdue for a victory, but that didn't quite happen at Bristol. It was the most exciting short tracks other than Phoenix this year. Martinsville was a crapper. So we really didn't cover that one. We decided to pull the plug on that one because it was ringing around to Rosie most of the day, and I actually passed out, so I wouldn't have known what to talk about during Martinsville. So,
Put you
but
right to sleep.
oh, it did. I lasted about an hour, and I was gone. There's no waking me up during that one. But yeah, last week's winner we had Willie B. That's the second win for the year for Hendrick Motorsports, and a couple weeks ago, I was talking trash about Joe Gibbs Racing, and apparently, all my hate for them is bringing them a lot of luck so far. So it's about time. But I'm gonna say though, with Kyle Busch as the victor, I'm gonna say it's luck. A lot of people are like, "Yay, Kyle!" I'm like, "Dude, that's luck." Like Briscoe totally pulled the dirtiest move, or he was just a complete idiot. But yeah, we had two rain delays. About what a half? What do you think? A half an hour, maybe half an hour,
The first one was definitely at least an hour. I felt
an
it,
hour.
it felt like forever because my guy was in third and I was hoping they were just going to call it, but that didn't happen. The second one with like 30 to go or whatever, that one only lasted about a half an hour. By the time Packer cars all got their job done, they were back out, and we got to see probably the most exciting finish of the year so far.
Yeah, quick shout out to them Packer cars. They did an excellent job last night.
How do
And
I get that job?
I don't know. I would drive the Bobcat that was turning over the top layer soil. I would love to do that. Just going a couple mile an hour up there. They were sliding down earlier before the first delay, but yeah, we it was kind of. Most thing we're seeing a lot in NASCAR this year is pit strategies, like who starts out leading the race. If they pit early, they end up towards the back when we got a new batch of top 10 drivers. And it's kind of like that all night long until who can come up with the best strategy or who doesn't blow the new 18-inch tires. But we had different tires for the dirt track. We actually had some. I'd say they were decent tires, other than Briscoe blew one, but that was he. I think he blew his tires up just a little too high there, so a little too much pressure in them drifting those dirt corners. But yeah, the dirt track changed throughout the night when we saw that. The inside lane, there's really not lanes on a dirt track, but like the inside of the dirt track, it was a little bit had some more grip, and we had Kyle Larson winning stage one. That's my guy, and he was just gone. But after the first rain delay, the track changed to the top of the track that had the most grip. And so on the restart, we had, I think it was at the restart after rain delay, we had Daniel Suarez in the front leading, and yeah, you just be quiet a minute. And Larson, I'm gonna talk about Larson because he's my guy.
For
Larson
sure.
was actually trapped on the bottom where he was mostly slushy at. So yeah, he was losing positions because he won stage one and he was gonna start again. Lost some positions being stuck in the muck, and all the outside lane was just going right by, and it was kind of upsetting to see. But Christopher Bell, the legend of dirt track, we had some original dirt track racers, Kyle Larson being a dirt track racer, Christopher Bell's, I think Stenhouse Jr., Reddick. I was hoping one of these guys besides Rowdy would get the victory. Well, Briscoe was the dirt racer, right, too.
Yep, Briscoe came from dirt,
Yeah.
and it
And
showed. He
oh,
was
it
good.
definitely. Yeah, either that or he had the. We always say who had the best car. I'm gonna say that Briscoe had the best car, and despite Suarez leading a lot of laps there, but I think he just had got in the front due to not pitting. This is your segment. You talk about Suarez, so you know this more than I do.
Yeah, I had it on the radio. I was coming home from my grandparents for Easter, and when that second stage came, or the first stage came to an end, and I heard the guys on the Motor Racing Network on the radio say three cars decided not to pit. Daniel Suarez, Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe. Those three guys didn't pit. I got to tell you, I was pissed because that's what happened at Martinsville. Suarez stayed out on super old tires and just got destroyed. So when I heard he stayed out on 75 lap old tires, I was a little upset because I thought he was just going to get destroyed. And he ended up leading 64 laps. He duplicated his performance from last year's Bristol dirt race where I think he led 58 laps there last year. But yeah, it was good to see him running up front for a little while. He hasn't been up there. At Martinsville, he struggled big time. Richmond before that, he kind of hung out in the middle of the pack. I think he finished 16th there. So it was good to see Daniel kind of back up towards the front. I was really, really praying for rain at the end of that second stage so he could have picked up a top five. But that didn't go my way. But in a way, I was glad for him and for me being a fan to see the rest of the race play out because Austin Dillon blew up. He collected Kurt Busch and Eric Jones finished like crap. So Suarez moved up 2 spots in the points, and now he's sitting just 8 points back for the last playoff spot. So in a way, I'm glad that I got to see the rest of the race play out.
Yeah, I betcha. We're gonna start on the car damage report week right here. So the first thing I thought was gonna be an issue all night was the radiators, the grill covers. They actually NASCAR threw a caution for everybody, and I forget who it was. Is it Briscoe? Briscoe ended up pitting before. I think it was Briscoe. He pitted, so they're
Yep.
wondering where to stick him at. But the grills were getting clogged up, causing a lot of heating issues. I thought, oh great, if this is going to be an all night problem, I'm turning the channel because they're all the drivers' pit crews that weren't there. They're all at home on Easter. They just had the mechanics that just build their cars, so there was no fast pit stops, no nothing. So they just basically came in, parked them, and got their windshields cleaned off, and then you take the putty knife and clean the mud off. But actually, that was not a problem for the rest of the night. We had later in the race, we had Ross Chastain had a little mishap with his car. Taking in dirt, the air was supposed to push the dirt out of the air vents. A little bit kind of got diverted to his throttle body. And after the second rain restart, he barely made it around the track, and he ended up just stalling right before pit road, and it wouldn't start again. And they had to get the Ford Super Duty out there and just push him back in. He was done just because he got dirt in his throttle body, and that's all it takes to kill your car. Anything that goes inside your engine that's not supposed to be there, you're done. But I was hoping. I was watching another racer. I was watching was not your favorite. Joey Logano was last year's Bristol Dirt Race winner, and he finished third. Yeah, he finished third. He did great. I was hoping Bell. I was kind of hoping Bell would get it because they were kind of high talking Bell. Bell was a dirt racer and stuff. You heard a little bit about Kyle. You didn't hear too much about Trackhouse. You know how those NASCAR those the got him in brain fart. The press box, they'll talk about certain drivers, but you didn't hear much about Trackhouse. But yeah, Daniel really made his statement there for a while. I was hoping they'd cancel either on Kyle winning stage 1 or get the Amigo clan his first win because Ross has his first win from Circuit of the Americas. But yeah, we didn't have too many issues other than Bubba Wallace bouncing off the wall and taking out Corey LaJoy, and Eric Jones got turned himself around with 81 laps to go. And no tire problems this week. I was really happy about that. And, of course, they didn't race drag slicks, so we had tires with grip. I mean, I would hate to see what would happen if you had drag slicks on some really wet mud. And was it? You see the Bell? I don't know if you're watching it when I was they're going to restart on the rain or before they canceled the first one. And Bell was he just slid down from the top. That was fun. That was funny.
Yeah, he ended up backing into Suarez. He hit Suarez right on the right side of his car. I was yelling at the TV. He better not have any damage. He better not lose this race because of that. But thankfully, I saw that because Bell was trying to go up the track, and then the whole thing just came out from under him. He slid right down, and then there was a huge log jam behind him. It was a
Uh,
that the rain delay was kind of a mess, but
yeah,
like I said, glad it played out the rest of the way. We got to see a really awesome finish, and just some other things there. So definitely worth the end. You mentioned the engine problems right away at the start. Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Cole Custer all had problems with overheating because, like you said, the mud was getting caked onto the radiator or the grill blocker. You know, they had that extra piece of whatever to block the mud. Well, that didn't do a lot of good. 3 of the 4 Stewart Haas cars were basically eliminated from contention right away. Briscoe was the only one who had a shot to do anything the rest of the night. And then, like I said, Austin Dillon ended up blowing up with his. I mean, he was running 3rd or 4th at the time, and he just slowed up. He collected Kurt Busch, but yeah, other than that, it was pretty good race and a few minor spins here and there. I know Bowman got caught up in a couple of spins. Todd Gilliland spun out, but I'm sure that's just part of racing on dirt. You lose the grip, you go around.
yeah. Actually, back to what I'm thinking is with the dirt and the radiators, and it looked like such a pain in the butt to get that off of there. I know they laid down clay.
Mm-hmm.
It was part of like the Bristol dirt formula. They had so much other stuff like sawdust and stuff like that. But you know, I think most people common sense knows that what happens to clay when you pour water on it. It gets a little hard.
Right.
So because when they brought those cars down pit road, I think some of them either they had like a hammer and a chisel just getting that dirt off of there and some putty knives. But yeah, that's I knew that might would happen with clay and Bristol being kind of notorious for rain. Clay and rain do not mix together well. But surprisingly though, the radiator problem really held out because they decided to pit the cars and a lot more frequently and they get everything cleaned off. It's not a 2-second pit stop. Everybody can make their adjustments the way they want. They have all the time in the world. But yeah, this was the first track I've really felt 3 emotions: happiness, anger, and it's like let's just get this over with. But I was happy that we had an exciting race because Martinsville last week was very upsetting. It was a sleeper.
Big letdown.
I was angry at a big letdown. I was angry at what Briscoe was thinking or what he did. Just kind of whipped his wheel and took out Reddick, and man, they're not knowing if they're going to cancel the race, and they kept saying, "Oh, I don't know if we're going to cancel the race or not." Like it's like just figure it out. But
Yeah.
I'm glad they went through with it because this is my first Bristol dirt race I've watched, and my dad was like, "Why are they doing this on dirt?" They go, "Stock cars aren't meant for dirt." And I'm just like, "Well, Dad, try new things. You might like them." Because yeah, they've been racing dirt tracks forever, like as long as back you can go, and King Richard and everybody. But I do like it's kind of a break, but I'm glad next week we're going to a super speedway. We've kind of had some short stuff and dirt racing and Circuit of the Americas. That's all exciting because we had about 4 or 5 weeks of just regular 1.5 mile tracks and stuff. We kind of got Circuit of the Americas. Martinsville is just a ring around the rosy. There was really nothing exciting there. And then we had Bristol Dirt, but I'm ready to get back to the super speedway. But as you mentioned, it is a plate race, and I'm kind of curious how this one's going to go. It's just kind of be like a replay of Daytona, but I'm thinking it's going to be different because drivers actually have their stuff figured out because, Daytona started the year as when they first got their hands on the next gen car. So this is going to be completely different from Daytona, in my opinion, honestly. So I'm going to have a hard time deciding next week's winner, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've got that written down on my paper here. I got Talladega predictions, anyone's game. But before we get into that, Will, I want to know, you mentioned Briscoe making kind of a stupid move there. If you're Tyler Reddick, are you throwing a punch at the end of the race?
Yeah, I would
I'm
because
glad we agree there.
well, just because RCR rarely gets a victory. There's not many drivers for RCR, is there? There's
Just Reddick and Dillon.
just Reddick and Dillon. I would have. That's what would fuel my anger, and also trying to maybe get some spots in the play. I don't know. He's not, but he doesn't hardly win, so there's really no playoff hope for him. But having that victory with 2 laps to go, and probably your blood pressure's through the roof. But I would throw a punch and I'd probably kick him right in his begonias. Kind of disable him a little bit. But he comes out and Briscoe's just like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I made a bad move there." It's like, bro, I would have. But you can't do the Ty Gibbs. You got to take your helmet off because apparently people on the gram don't like the helmet on. So I learned that. So you got to take the helmet off and getting some face. But I don't know. Briscoe's a little bit taller than Reddick, so I don't know how that go. But you got to at least get him on. You got to get that low. You got to get that right hook on a surprise. At least Reddick could get that in there. But I don't know. What would you do in that situation? But I'd probably mauled his.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The one thing Briscoe did right was, like you said, he took his helmet off. He walked up to Reddick like, if he punches me, at least I have my helmet off. He knew he had a punch coming. He should have had a punch coming. I would have punched him right in the face because I would have been furious. That was Tyler Reddick's first win at stake, first career win in the Cup Series at stake. Yeah, I would have absolutely just slugged him.
I think he thought it was coming. I mean, he was looked like he was kind of iffy going over there. Probably butt cheeks clenched, and he was getting ready for a punch. But they were gentlemen about it. Gentlemen shook each other's hand. I'm like, "Where's the blood? Let's get some going here." Because I was mad that Rowdy won that one because I don't like kind of two-faced people like Rowdy because he was always whining when Bowman would steal a win, and that's kind of what we had there after Briscoe and Reddick. It was mostly Briscoe's fault. Like Reddick really had nothing to do with it. He's going in for it, but I still think, God, if that wreck didn't have happened, I think Briscoe might have won because he was a hauling. His car was just stupid fast. But Reddick actually says he actually blamed himself more than Briscoe. I don't even know what he was talking about, but he says, he allowed like most of the pack to kind of catch up with him. And they had the lap cars and everything, but he said he actually blamed himself more because he said he screwed up a lot on the last lap, causing like the whole pack to catch up with him. So I don't know if that's true, but he did. But the look in Reddick's eyes when his helmet came off, I think he was getting ready for some blood, but I don't know if he wanted a reaction out of that. But I don't know, I would have popped him in the jaw.
Yeah, maybe just trying to avoid a suspension or a fine with not throwing a punch. But I can guarantee you one thing: if Kyle Busch was running second at that point and not Briscoe, I think Kyle Busch would have wrecked him too. That's Bristol. It's Bristol, baby.
Yeah, or Logano. You know our stance this week on Logano. Logano will dump anybody that gets in his way, but I don't know where he was back in the pack, but yeah, Logano placed third, which is all right, and which is really good for him. He's like there's a lot of drivers this year that's kind of been there. Like Kyle Busch has been there. Reddick hasn't really been up there other than Phoenix. He was he had his or was it Auto Club? I think it was Auto Club.
Both of them, yeah. Phoenix and Auto Club. He looked like he could have won.
He could have won.
Last night.
And last night. Blaney, Bell's been up. He's been up and down. There's so many drivers that are begging for a win this year. And I thought another one of the mystery 10 that we see mostly in all the races this year would finally get a win. Briscoe's already got a win, but Reddick does not have a win, and RCR does not have a ton of drivers. So I was hoping that Reddick would take it. I would have been content with Reddick winning that because I do know that RCR does not have many drivers. I like RCR, Dale Earnhardt, Dale Earnhardt was my pretty much be my favorite NASCAR driver of all time. Black 3 RCR. Yeah, RCR. I was hoping with that, but I felt so bad for Richard when he stood up. I don't know if he wanted to punch a window or he was going to cry, but it looked like he had a little water work going on there. And I just felt that. I was like, man. I was mad.
It was definitely hard to see when Briscoe did. I couldn't even believe it, what had just happened. But anyway, we gotta talk about our winner now. We gotta talk about Rowdy. Are you prepared for this?
Yeah, I'll bite my tongue.
We'll just do a short little. I've just got a short little presentation prepared for him. 18 straight seasons with a win. Ties Richard Petty for most consecutive seasons with a win in NASCAR history. That's pretty impressive. He's been around a long time. He's won a lot of races. He just moved I think that last night was his 60th career win. Next on his list to pass is Dale Earnhardt with 76. I don't know if he'll get 76 wins. If he gets 16 more in his career, I'm not sure how old he is, if he's 40 yet, but I think he's probably got 5 or 6 years left in the tank. So I could see him maybe tying Dale Earnhardt.
Oh
Either
no.
way, I was very impressed. He after the show went off the air and the press conference, he said he backed into it. He was kind of poking fun at himself. I was pretty impressed with the way he handled it. He just took the flag, did his bow. He knew he wasn't going to be the center of attention on that one, being that Briscoe and Reddick wrecked each other. But yeah, I got to give credit where credit's due. Kyle Busch, for that one, 60 career wins is not something a lot of guys see.
No, well, I still think Earnhardt. I gotta go back here a little bit. Earnhardt probably would have had a lot more if he didn't unfortunately pass away. So he's kind of chasing a fallen man there. But so basically, what you're telling me that anybody who else wins the entire Cup Series, Rowdy's just gonna throw a tantrum and have the worst interviews in the world. But if he wins, nothing matters. Yeah, you always giving Bowman crap for sniping them races like that. Like Bowman, I would have witnessed Bowman trying to snipe Circuit of the America if he Ross took out AJ. But didn't AJ like just get bumped into Bowman and Bowman just kind of fished your tail? But he did place though. Like Bowman did get out of there in time, but AJ was beyond saving himself. But
Right.
yeah, he was blaming. He was always giving crap to Hamlin for popping a win, and now I was hoping the roles would be reversed. I think Bowman's still kind of quiet about it though, but
Yeah.
I don't. But
Just
yeah,
waiting
Rowdy,
for that. Just waiting for that tweet from Alex Bowman that says, "Huh, I wonder who's backing into those wins now."
yeah, that or next time Hamlin wins, it was like or just repeat what Bush was saying during the whole entire thing. I don't know, but yeah, you're happy on that one. But what I'm most happy with is we have what did I say 3 Hendricks guys in the top 10, I think.
Yep.
Bowman, Larson, and Chase Elliott. But yeah, I'm happy with that. And Larson got fourth place. I'm always because Larson's kind of had a shaky year. I'm at the
Oh,
point saying if he
you
what,
saved it. You saved the S bomb there, bud.
yeah, it's having a shaky year. Yeah, I saved it. Um, I've been saying if he gets top five, I'll be happy, and we did that last night. So, well, he would have been fifth if Briscoe didn't
Yeah.
fall back after he wiped himself out. Larson, everybody would have placed common sense would have placed the position back. But Reddick saved himself a little bit. I still like I said, if you're racing on concrete, you won't have the sliding action. But if you had that similar accident on pavement, or not gravel, the regular track, I think Reddick could have won that one. And just because they're on wet dirt, he couldn't get enough grip. And unfortunately, Bush came around the corner, and no wrecks, no nothing. So he was going full speed. Full speed ahead. And poor Reddick was just fishtailing because that finish line was just literally like 40 feet away.
That was so close.
He couldn't catch any grip, and they just basically, Bush just kind of barely passed him because that finish line was just right there. But I felt so bad. You could tell he wanted it because, well, he was just fishtailing in the mud. Like, oh man. Like I said, if that was on regular concrete, he would have won it. We got the grip, but I felt so bad because you could tell he wanted it because he's just fishtailing right through there. And I was like, when Bush crossed the finish line.
So
Was,
close and yet so far.
yeah, a very punchable face. I like to. I like to meet him. I would, but I don't need an assault charge right now.
Well, let's get into awards for the weekend. Will, you got a cold beer to give to anybody?
Boy, I have a bunch, but I'm only gonna pick one. I got Larson finishing top 5, which 3 Hendricks guys in the top 10, or Reddick for not getting a fine and trying not to kill Briscoe.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Cole Custer getting his first pole win.
Yeah.
But like I said, pole wins aren't the most important thing though. But I always like seeing the pole. Blaney's been on top of the pole wins, but Cole Custer, he didn't do so good.
Yeah, he didn't.
I'm just gonna go Larson top 5. That's because you've seen all of our episodes. You've seen what what his years have been like. I always give you updates. He's seen what his years have been like. So I'm saying if top 5 is good, go with Larson again and give him my cold beer.
All right. Yeah, that's respectable. I would say that. I'm going to give mine. I think I've got to give it to Rowdy just for being in the right place at the right time. I mean,
so are you going to admit that it was lucky?
Oh yeah, he lucked out 100%. He stole that one. 100% he stole that one. But he said it best in his interview. Doesn't matter how you get him as long as you get him. I know it's a little two-faced and I know he's all over the freaking map when it comes to emotions. 18 straight years with a win, that's enough for me to give him a cold beer, I think. A cold Busch for Kyle Busch.
You got a lucky beer this week, I tell you what.
How about a pacifier? You got any of that for gotten a pacifier for anyone?
Pacifier would probably go for Briscoe being a complete idiot. But no, he wasn't upset though. But I'm just saying, well, if we had like a crybaby, like you really felt sorry for somebody, it would be RCR Racing and Tyler Reddick, not with the pacifier for the biggest baby. But if we had like a soft cry, it would be the RCR team. But I'm gonna go Briscoe for being a complete moron.
I guess I respect that one too. My pacifier award's going to someone a little bit different. I'm gonna give myself a pacifier for being so unbelievably sad that they didn't call the race when Suarez was in third, or that it didn't start raining harder when he was leading. I was sad. I was upset. I'm going to give myself a pacifier for being so down when Suarez didn't steal a rain win.
Yeah, after what you're sending me last night, I think yeah.
That's a first. I've given myself the pacifier award for the first time on Talkin Track. How about that?
Yeah, that works. I haven't done myself yet because I'm sitting pretty good. 3 Hendricks guys in the top 10. It doesn't mean I like them all, but we had Larson finishing top 5. You know what the year he's had. Top 5 is what I pretty much proclaimed he's going to do. So I'm sitting good. Other than the ending, like I said, you know, it's kind of sad what happened, but the past is the past, and we got to live with it. But it comes down to my favorite driver, and not being Reddick or Briscoe or a Busch fan or anybody except for the Hendricks boys or the Larson. We got top 5 and 3 in the top 10, and Joe Gibbs got their. He's Joe Gibbs, right? Yeah, Toyota.
Yep.
Gibbs got their second win. So, but yeah, I'm sitting pretty good. Pacifier Briscoe for being a complete moron.
All right. And that should wrap us up here for tonight's episode. We will see you all next weekend to recap all the action from Talladega. We'll catch you then.